What's up, BroskiPlays, and welcome to a brand new Binding of Isaac Afterbirth Plus LUA tutorial. This time I'm going to be teaching you guys how to make a custom character with LUA coding and everything. This video LUA tutorial has been suggested by Nelson510, and he asked, can you make a modding tutorial for making custom characters? So here you are. Hope you like it, Nelson, and yeah. In this tutorial I'm going to be teaching you 4 things. The first thing that I'm going to be teaching you is how you can make a character from scratch, sprite the character, do the LUA coding for a character, and finally how you can put this character in the character selection screen and actually make it usable for workshop and anything for everyone. So it's going to be a really long video, or not, I already know, and yeah, I'm going to explain it to you guys. Obviously I'm not going to be doing it step by step. I already made a character for you guys to use, to try out, to check the code for. Its name is called the trader that we're going to be making today, and I put a link in the description for the workshop link where you guys can check out and basically try out the trader yourself and use the code as a kind of reference point for you guys when making your own custom character. So without further ado, let's begin with the tutorial, and thank you Nelson for suggesting this awesome tutorial. So let's do this. Alright. Welcome to my desktop. So this is basically what we're going to be showing off today. This is the folder. It's called character, and this folder contains a couple of maps. The first map is called content, and the second map is resources, and we also got the main LUA file and the metadata. So first of all, the content. Here's where the plays.xml basically comes in. The plays.xml file basically contains all the data for the player. This include the big portrait, the player portrait, the player text, and so on and so forth. Also the skin and everything. I'm going to be talking with you guys about that in this video in a bit. Then we have the GFX folder. This one contains the character menu, which we're going to be using to completely add a new kind of page to the character selection screen. We're going to be adding a new portrait for the character selection screen and a new dead portrait, which basically shows its name when he dies. So then next up we're going to go to resources, and there we're going to make a new folder called the graphics. In this folder we're going to make 2 new folders, basically characters and UI. The characters one has costumes. This is where we're going to put our sprite in. This is the sprite for the trade. I'm going to be talking about how you can make these sprites and how easy it is to do it. And then we have the UI, which basically contains 2 folders, boss and stage. The boss one contains the player name and the player portrait, and finally the stage contains the big portrait. So let's first talk about the really simple one, the plays.xml. I'm going to be opening it with Notepad++. You can open it with whatever kind of text editor you like. And this is basically how my plays.xml looks. So I'm going to be explaining what it does. So this is the tag players. It contains the path to the root of basically the sprite sheet. Then we have portrait root, which basically has the root to the portrait image. Then we have name image root, which basically is the root to the name image, and we have big portrait root, which is the root to the big portrait that's been used in the transitions between floors. Then this is the player. This one is really important. So this is basically all the information that you need to do for making your own custom player in the game. So I called mine the trader. Make sure to put this one for every single thing that you're going to be mentioning for the trader. I'm going to be talking about that in the video, throughout the video, so don't worry about that. Then skin is basically the sprite sheet, what sprite sheet is going to be used for the trader. Then we have black, which basically means black hearts. HP basically means red hearts. Also, the way how hearts are represented in an XML are different than normally. You don't just put 3 there, because that will give you just 1.5 heart. Because basically how the game works is it basically has a half heart and a full heart. So if you want to have 3 hearts, you got to put 6 there. So HP is basically red hearts. Then you have soul. Soul basically means soul hearts. Then you have keys, which you can do by just typing keys to determine how many keys the player has. And then you have coins, coins, which basically determines how many coins the player has. You can also do can shoot and turn that on false. This is something that is being used by no other than Lilith, which basically is used for her mechanic. So yeah, that's basically all the stuff that you can add. There's lots more. You're gonna check that in the document and in the docs for Lua. So check that out. Then name image basically is the name of the player name file. Then we have portrait, which basically is the name for the file of the player portrait, and we have big portrait, which is basically the name of the file for the big player portrait. Skin color is really important because skin color basically is the one that decides what kind of variant the costumes are going to be. So let me just show you real quick. Let me close Discord real quick. So what this basically means is when we go to characters and we go to costumes, there you will see all these different colors for costumes. You have normal Isaac, black, blue, green, gray, and red, and white. This is basically to determine what kind of skin color the character have. So as you can see, 1 is black, 2 is blue, 3 is green, 4 is gray, and 5 is red, and 6 is white. So if you have a white character like the Lost, white will be perfect because it fits for the Lost. And as you can see, all costumes have different colors, as you can see. So it's basically really nice for compatibility with costumes. So that's why we choose 1 as our skin color. And then finally you want to end it with a little bracket, little tag that has like a little backslash and then players. That's basically your XML file. That's how you're gonna do it. Alright, got it? Okay, let's move on to the next part, and that's the GFX. So there is something really different with this kind of way of adding a character. It's not just like you just put it in the GFX folder, you're done. No. You gotta put it inside a GFX folder, inside a content folder, because you want to add something. You don't want to replace anything, you want to add something. And that's where this comes into play. So let's first check out the character menu. What is different about this character menu than the other ones? Let's check it out. Alright. So when this is loaded, it should be loaded in a bit. Takes a little bit of time. Man, why does it take so much time? Alright. Come on. I can also open it in GIMP or Google Chrome. Alright, I'm opening Google Chrome, fuck it. So this is basically what a character menu is. It contains the background, all the names, the character portraits or sprites, the names, the items, the way how to unlock them, etc, etc. How do you add your own ones? Well, as you can see, this is the player portrait for the trader. This is the name for the trader, and here you can put in any items that you have included for your character. So that's basically how you're gonna do the character menu. You just add in the player that you want and put them in like a blank space like this. Alright, now let's move on explaining the dead portraits. This one is a little bit different. Alright, so the dead portrait is basically you want to put in, these are all the random images that appear right here. Then you have the names which appear right here, and there is the trader. And then we have these ones, and they basically always get replaced here for depending on what floor you died on. Alright, got that? Cool. So that's dead portraits. And now let's move on to the ANM2 files. So I'm going to be opening the character menu ANM2 file. This is very important. So as you can see, I made a animation, the trader. You gotta make an animation called the trader, and you gotta choose the name. Don't choose the portrait, just choose the name and put it in the right spot, just like here in the middle. Alright, got that? Cool. Then we have the portraits, or the character portraits ANM2. This animation file basically determines the character portrait. So you want to put the character portrait, call it basically the same as your players.xml file, and put it here in the middle. Alright, and then we have dead screen, which basically indicates the name for the dead portrait. So you want to put that right here or right there. Alright, got that? Cool. So now that we're done with the ANM2 files, let's move on with the resources, because there's still a bit to be done. First of all, the sprite sheet. Let me just explain what every single thing does on the sprite sheet. Alright, so this is the sprite sheet for the trader. So as you can see, these are all the head movements of the trader. This is the body. This is when it picks up any item. This is when it basically freaks out, this is when it has a good reaction. When it does thumbs up, thumbs down. When it dies, when it's happy, when it falls down. Oh no, when it basically falls into a black hole. This is the glitchy part, is basically for when, so the game knows when something is getting glitchy, you know. Then we have this one, which basically indicates as jumping for the how to jump, and so on and so forth. Basically all of these animations have a different kind of meaning to them. Alright, got that? Cool. Now, what do these UI things mean? Well, the boss one basically means, is basically the sprite that comes for the transition when you enter a boss room. So it shows the trader, which is the name, and then the player portrait. Then the stage one is basically for the floor transition. So when you transition between floors, this is what shows up instead of just a normal Isaac variant. Alright, now that we're done with that, let's show you the main Lua, because we're now getting into the cool part of this tutorial. Alright, so this is the Lua of the character that we're gonna make today. It's called the trader, and the trader has a special ability of being able to spawn imps whenever he clears a room, and he can only get more than 6 imps. So how do we determine this? First of all, we make a local variable and call it a trader. This one is basically to indicate the register mod, that it registers mod. Also, for you guys that are still struggling with the plugin, it's really simple. All you gotta do, let me just show you real quick, is you gotta go to the folder where your ZeroBrane is located. So for me, it basically is, let me just show you, is inside a really weird folder, don't mind me. I have really weird ways of storing my my flipping stuff. Basically you want to go to the ZeroBrane Studio folder, and there you will find all this stuff. Then you want to go to the folder called interpreters, and there you want to put in the Binding of Isaac afterbirth plus.lua folder. File. That's basically what you want to do. Once you're done with that, you're good to go. And if the doc ever gets upgraded, I have a really cool tip for you guys. So open up the Lua file and just go here. And here you will see that it uses the Afterbirth Plus API. Now, what it does, by the way, is it uses 5.3. This is not the right version right now for the Afterbirth Plus API, because there has been new stuff added. You can find this API, by the way, if you want to change them, right here. This is the API which has all the different comments for all different mod callbacks. So if you want, you can actually add your own mod callbacks from the docs. There are loads of them here. You can add more if you want to. It's really nice. I recommend you guys do it because they're obviously the documentary is going to be changing, so you can manually add them in. So yeah, so keep that in mind. Here goes the Afterbirth Plus Lua, and this is basically where the interpreters file goes. Alright, now let's move on back to ZeroBrane Studio. Sorry for my bad wallpaper, by the way. I have too much stuff there. Alright, so let me just show you the folder. Alright, here we go. So this is the code for the trader. So we have a local imp list, and we finally have a new thing that we deal with today. Arrays, or arrays, yeah. Arrays are basically indicated with a little bracket, 2 brackets. And this is basically a kind of variable that stores stuff. And I'm going to be talking about it in a second. Now, then we have the local enemy count. This one is basically a variable that checks how many enemies are in the room. Alright, then we have function trader spawn imp. This function is to spawn the imp whenever the player enters the room. Whenever the player basically starts the game. Then we have a local player, which basically indicates player, and we have local imp, which is basically a kind of shortcut to spawn for Isaac spawn for the entity imp. Then imp are charmed. If you do -1, that basically means it has a permanent effect. This is a really cool tip for you guys if you ever want to add a specific temporary effect, like add charmed, add poison. Just do -1 and it will be permanent. Alright, so table.insert is basically what the arrays are for. This code right here basically makes a table that will add the current imp list and the imp inside a kind of database. So it stores them which can be used for later coding. Alright? So then we have function trader update. You have local room, which basically indicates the room which you're in, and player, which basically indicates the player. Then we have this code, player get name. This basically is a code to check if the player is actually the trader. If so, then also if the game get frame count. This is a pretty cool code. Game get frame count is basically an indicator that a lot of coders use right now to indicate time. So when the frame count of the room is at 1, it basically spawns the imp that is inside the imp list. And the imp list, as you can see, it basically added the imp inside the imp list. So this will not be empty, it will actually have that imp inside it. You can see it like a box. See the imp list as a box. The imp list, it basically is like the box is empty at the beginning, but once you spawn the imp, it gets one imp inserted in the box basically. Alright, so if the imp list is under 6, which basically means that there are less than 6 imps that has been spawned, then then this new local function will start, which is this one. This is the function. So this one actually is basically looping itself, because this code basically refers back to that function. Alright? It's also not located as a callback. So the game knows that it's not a local function, like a real function. Then we have the local entities, which basically checks for entities in the room. This is the code for checking if the enemies are dead. So if the room get frame count is less or equal to 1, then if the room is first visit, so if it's like visit for the first time, and then the enemy count is 0. Now it's going to check for pairs, which is another way of checking for entities, which is different than the for loop. So if the V, which is basically the entities, is a vulnerable enemy and its type entity imp, then the enemy count is going up to 1. So the code knows, alright, so there's a it's over, the room is first visited, frame count is 1, let's add another imp to that. Then if the imp count is above 0 and the room is clear and the imp list is under 3 or under 6, I gotta change this to 6 by the way, then enemy count is 0. Which basically means that the enemy count is, there are no enemies in the room, and then the trader will be spawning another imp. Alright? And then finally I've added this to check it out for like trinkets, but at the moment trinket effects don't work. Collectible effects do work, so a really cool thing about the trader that we're gonna that you guys can add is Steam sale. Basically gives him a little bit of discount on items. You don't have to like make a system for that, you can just add this little code in there. And that's basically it. Then you add the trader callback, which basically does the positive update, and you're good to go. That's the code. Now let's check it out in game and see how it works. Alright? Let's do this. Alright. Wait, let me check my code. Oh, I got 2 new comments on the trader. Alright. So you guys can always, if you guys want to try out the trader, go ahead. It's now in the workshop for you guys to play around with. You can add new things to it. You can basically do whatever the hell you want with it. You can even re-upload it. I don't really care. Just do whatever the hell you want. It's for reference material. I actually made this myself in a little bit for you guys to learn. So yeah, let's go and show you off how it works and that it actually works as well. That's pretty important, right?
Isaac and his mother lived alone in a small house on a hill.
Wait a second.
Isaac kept to himself, drawing pictures and playing with his toys as his mom watched.
Okay. So here we are in the Binding of Isaac Afterbirth Plus, and let me just do something real quickly because I have so many friends that are online. If you guys want to have me on Steam, you can always do that if you want to. So I'm still a little bit sick. So here we are. We're going to be playing with the trader. As you can see, here's the trader. So let's play with him. Alright, we click on normal and yeah, let's run the game. So here is our little trader sprite and there is our little imp. So that works, right? It cannot kill us. That's really cool. Alright, now let's go inside. Yeah, let's just do a little run. Alright, so we have a little room with enemies here. And here you go. For some reason it doesn't spawn another trader. That's weird. Normally it should. That's kind of weird. Alright. Let's do it again. It's not spawning them. Alright, let me just change some stuff here. So apparently the code is a little bit not working right now. Let's see, so I changed this to 6, right? Maybe that's the reason why it doesn't work. I'm not completely sure, but I'm just gonna try it anyway. Alright. I'm gonna try this again. Rerun the shit. Alright, he spawns. Let me just do it again. Let's see if he spawns again. Yeah, he does. Alright, so it should work now. It was a little bit broken in the beginning. I need to get help from someone else because it was not easy doing it. Because it's a long time since I did LUA, because it's been like 3 months or something. I've been like really busy working on the mod. So as you can see, it didn't spawn anything. That's kind of weird. Is it because of this? I have a feeling it's because of this code right here. Or that I like it has enough ends. Alright. Let me try it again. Sorry guys, I'm just trying the bug test here. Apparently I added something that... No. Weird. That's not a problem. Alright. There must be something going on here that I didn't do right. Let me check the log. Because mostly guys, if there's like something in the log, you can always find it. I'm going to show you how it works. So as you can see, I now have a black screen. Just going to show you my desktop again. So you guys can see the log. Wait, I can also do window capture, right? So I can show you guys the log while I'm at it. I think I can. Alright, let me just load it up. Sorry for my voice, by the way. I've been still a little bit sick, so that's why my voice is not like perfect right now. Alright, so the log is running. If I can show you that, which I can. Awesome. Alright, so I'm going to be showing you the log while I'm playing the game, so you guys can check it out. This is actually a lot better, to be honest, for you guys as well. So there is basically a lot going on right now. But it doesn't seem to have a problem here. No, it's just running the LUA script. There's nothing going wrong here. For some reason it's not spawning it, which is really weird. Ooh, proptosis, damn. That's actually really nice. Okay, so I still don't got my imp. So there is something wrong with the spawning system. I'm gonna check. So sometimes there can be that there is something with your function, you know, that you have like too much ends, or that a if doesn't got an end, for example, which can always be the case. For some reason it doesn't apply for this. There must be a little like thing going on that's not right. Because at the moment it's not working, which is just weird. Whoa, 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 what the hell? This spider is really irritating. Like, it's one of the most difficult spiders to beat. So as you can see, it didn't spawn anything when I cleared the room, which is just weird. I had it working, so it's gonna, yeah. So really clueless here. I really don't know what I did wrong. I'll just check out for this problem that I go back in the game. And I'll show you guys what the problem was. Four ends, really? Could that be the reason? Let me try it. Yeah, that was the reason. Alright. Alright guys, I'm back. So it turns out there was some stupid problem going on, which made everything a lot worse than it actually is. I forgot that I had an extra an extra flipping come on, there we go. I had a extra end. I needed an extra end right there, so that's the reason why it didn't work. So I have to fucking like re-upload the thing now. Sorry, I will do that, don't worry. So as you can see, I now fixed it. So we now have the demon, and if we now go inside like a room, for example, go in here, and as you can see, we get another one. Not this time, what the fuck? Huh? Oh, we don't. What the fuck? It still doesn't work. Huh? This is weird. Wait a second. It is how it should be. This is weird. This is fucking weird. It should work right now. I mean, oh, now it works. Ah, that's awkward. So as you can see, now it actually works. Alright, so he died, and now he spawns again. So as you can see, you can have like 6 imps. I'm gonna be showing you that it works. Huh. Oh wow. So as you can see, I didn't get another imp. The reason for that is because I used the black heart. And again, I didn't get another one. That's so weird. Alright, let's try and kill... I'm curious if I get like another imp. Oh man, he killed all my imps. No! Fuck you, Duke of Flies, I hate you. Alright. Oh! Damn it. Oh shit. I'm gonna do this. Easy. All these fucking flies though. Alright. So now I need to kill all these different flies. Ah! Wow. Alright, so now I don't get another demon. It's weird. And now it doesn't work again. It's a really weird problem. I don't know why this keeps happening, to be honest. It's like I always need to restart the run for some reason. So as you can see, I almost got him killed. Wait a second. Oh, come on! I always get hit by these stupid spiders. Because as you can see, if I just restart as the trader now, I don't get a fucking... I don't get anything anymore. Wait, let me check. There's an error going on right now. There is no error going on. This is fucking weird. Is it saving mod data? No, it's not. And now it does. What the hell? It's weird, you know? It's a really weird kind of code that sometimes works, sometimes doesn't for some reason. And here you go. Now it spawns another demon again. That's just weird. But yeah. It can only do 2 for some reason. That's so flipping weird. Like normally it should do more, but... Oh, I have it on 3, right? Oh. Obviously. I had it on 3. Obviously that doesn't work then. Yeah, I wanted to make it a little bit like not overpowered. It's like a little bit more balanced. So as you can see, like now I have like 2 of these and they're really fast shooting imps. We're really overpowered actually. So as you can see, if I now kill them, I actually get another demon. See? It now works. So yeah, that's kind of the thing about it. It does work, but I should like we could make it enhance a little bit so it only goes with a chance, which is a lot more fun because now we get like new demons every single time. So let's do that. Let's add a little chance to it. So how do you make a chance? It's not really difficult. You just make a local variable and call that chance and just basically do this math random, and then you do 1 out of 10. So we have a chance of 1 out of 10. No, that's too much. 1 out of 4. And then you can do if chance equals 4 or is like higher than 3, then. So now what I did is basically I gave it a chance. So now it has a chance of 1 out of 4 to spawn. As you can see, I don't have the trinket effect on right now, but we could just add that in. That's not a problem. Alright. So yeah, it works, and yeah, that's basically how you make a custom character in the Binding of Isaac Afterbirth Plus. It's not really that difficult, to be honest. Also stay tuned tomorrow, where I'm going to be telling you guys how you can make a reroll dice item. Yeah. Until then, this was BroskiPlays, and stay broski.